This video is going to show you how to either add an iPhone or an iPod that the person's listening to with the headphones and the iPod coming out of the pocket, or a white prop. So the first thing I'm going to show you is if you decide on something in the picture being a white prop. So I've decided to have the book as a white prop. So you're going to make a new layer, and in that layer that's where the white's going to be. So if you wanted to go ahead and just start painting, whatever you want to be white, you could see that it's a separate layer. So if you make a mistake, if you need to modify it, you can go ahead and do that. So there's a couple of sort of tricks that you can do. Instead of having to, make this selection and get really, really close and everything to the edge, what you can do is a lot of this edge is already done for us. I'm going to go to layer 5. I'm going to hold down the command button. Oh, sorry about that. I'm going to hold down the command button, hit the wrong one, and I made that selection. You could see that there is a selection already made around the outside here. So I went back to that empty layer 6, and if I start brushing on, you can see that this kind of saves me a bit of time. I have to get in here and make sure that I have to do this manually. So you can go ahead. I enjoy masking out the area that I need. Sometimes it's a little difficult to see what exactly is your prop and where it gets cut off, but this is going to be really small anyway. You don't have to get absolutely perfect. What might also help is if you take away the overlay. Of course, that'll help you see it better. So like I said, I like to make my selection, mask it off. Just make sure you're on that layer. You don't want to be painting another layer by accident. All right, so that would be what you would need to do for the white prop. Okay, you just want to make that a separate layer, and you can change your mind. You can say, well, I'm going to have something else be my white prop instead. Let's say that we want her to have a set of headphones. What you're going to need is, of course, an iPod. So I went ahead and jumped ahead and got a picture from the internet. I got rid of all the background. Oh wow, sorry about that. I'm going to go ahead and drag this over here. Of course, it's going to be huge. You guys know better than anybody the approximate size. If it's going to be a 6, it'll be about that size. If it's a 5, it's going to be a little smaller. That's probably a little too big, too small. Okay, so something like that. That's good. All right, now the reason why I put it on her hip, because I'm going to make an imaginary pocket. There's not really one there. Her hands are full, so she won't be able to hold it. So we're going to make an imaginary pocket. We're going to put it on a bit of an angle. And now a couple things that you can sort of cheat on is one of the things is to make this into a pocket. So I'm literally going to erase the part that would be covered by the invisible pocket. Okay. I'm also going to take this layer, and I need it to be white. So instead of painting white on top of this, I can go to the hue saturation, bring the lightness all the way up. So it's got the shape of the iPod. It doesn't have any details. That's fine. Now, knowing the iPhone 5, it would have to be upside down anyway if the cord's going to be coming right out, because the cord's on the jack is on the bottom. All right, so now the next thing is I would say to make a new layer again, and this time it'll be for the cord. We're going to use a brush, and we have to sort of try things out. That's probably the good size for a cord. That's a Pixel 2, so Pixel 1. So what I did is I found a nice unfuzzy brush, and I brought the size all the way down to 1. And I think that's probably going to be good. If I wanted to increase it a little bit, that might be better. Now you might say, why on earth are you just like putting all of this stuff, why are you trying this out? Aren't you messing up the picture? No, it's on its own layer, so I can go ahead and use the eraser tool and erasing parts of the cord. I'm going to go with the 2. So this is going to be a sort of a movement that you have to make sort of organic because you have a cord. Okay, so even if you wanted to go ahead and make the cord a little longer, and you can have it kind of draping down, you don't want it to be a straight line. If you want it to be sort of like even over her shoulder, over her arm a little bit like that, you know, whatever works. You know, if you want it to kind of come across a little bit more in front of her, that would be fine as well. You know, you're literally sort of pretending that this headphone is coming off right now. I know that they come together like that. It's not really coming off of her chin. I'm trying to make it so it's coming from the other ear. It's going to take you a couple times to get it to look very, very smooth. That's pretty good. I need to just be very, very careful here and just make sure that that is connected down there. Earbuds. Okay, so what you need to do is just make a little bit of a bigger area right there, and that's completely cool. Don't be putting beats on her or anything like that. I think that'll be a little too weird. Alright, you don't want to cover her head too much. Alright, so that's pretty much it. So you have the choice. You can either go with you know, the iPod, or you can go with something else being the prop. So if you do both, that's completely fine. I don't think it's necessary to do both, but you know, one or the other would be fine. Okay.